In a future where crime can be predicted and prevented, one man finds himself trapped in a web of deceit and conspiracy. As the clock ticks down to his own predicted crime, he must unravel the truth before it's too late. And this is how it all begins. It's the year 2054, and crime in the US has reached a new height. Due to this, a special task force has been founded called PreCrime, where a special unit will work to stop crimes before they are even committed. The way the task force works is by having 3 mentally altered humans called precogs that can see the future. When one of them sees a crime being committed, 2 wooden balls are engraved, one with the name of the perpetrator and one of the victim. Each vision of the crime is recorded. When the perpetrators are caught, they are placed in special pods with their virtual reality. A vision from one of the precogs appears where a woman is having an affair and is caught by her husband, who angrily kills them. Since the faces are clear in the vision, the machine can easily put their names on the balls. At that time, Chief John is called to see the case, which is set to happen in 24 minutes. John re-watches the vision and looks for any clues. In the meantime, the future criminal is heading to work. As John is searching for a location, he is interrupted by another agent named Whitwer, who asks him questions about his work. All of a sudden, with 10 minutes left until the murder, John recognizes a park, and he and his team immediately leave to reach the location. Back at the house, the soon-to-be criminal returns home and sees his wife having an affair. As the team reaches the park, they see all of the houses look the same, making it impossible to figure out which house the criminal is in. John notices that one of the houses has its door left open. He reaches back to the task force to get confirmation if the door was open in the vision as well, and once it's confirmed, with 30 seconds left, John rushes inside the house and reaches the bedroom right as the man is about to stab his wife. John scans the man's eyes, and once his identity is confirmed, he arrests him. That evening, as John is running, he sees a giant screen showing Burgess, the director of PreCrime. When John returns to his apartment, we learn that his life has been in chaos since his son disappeared and his wife left him. The next day, John runs into Burgess and he asks John to keep an eye on Whitwer, as he may be there to spy on them. At the office, Whitwer is still questioning the entire operation and requests to speak with the precogs. Whitwer meets the guy and requests to speak to the precogs. Whitwer meets the guy that takes care of them, and we learn that there are 2 guys and a girl named Agatha, whose minds are directly linked to the screen on top of them. As everyone leaves, John sees Agatha wake up, and she quickly grabs him as another vision appears showing a man drowning a woman. John goes to see Gideon, who is in charge of the prisoners. He explains the vision, and Gideon finds it as one of the first cases from PreCrime. He pulls up the prisoner, who was classified as a John Doe, due to him having swapped out his eyes to fool the identification sensor. Gideon tries to pull out more information on the case, but realizes that Agatha's date is missing, along with information about the supposed victim. Back at the office, Anderton is alerted to a new crime that will happen in 36 hours. The victim has already been identified as Leo Crow, but the perpetrator's identity is still a mystery. John starts looking for clues in the vision, and suddenly he sees himself as the person behind Crow's murder. He quickly leaves the building before his coworkers see this. It isn't long before PreCrime officers find John. He manages to escape, but is soon found by Whitwer and other officers. But once again, he finds a car and manages to escape from them. He reaches Dr. Iris, whose research was the groundwork for the PreCrime program. Iris explains to him that 3 precogs don't always agree on their visions of the future. To prove he isn't a criminal, he has to make sure he has a minority report to clear his name. He is confused as to which of the precogs would generate a minority report, but Iris reveals that it's Agatha. Since every person has their eyes scanned everywhere they go, John goes to get an eye transplant from a shady doctor. John does the surgery, and as he is recovering, he dreams about the day his son was abducted. As he wakes up, he finds out the PreCrime team is already searching the building he is in. Multiple small eye scanners are sent out into the rooms, and as they find John, they scan his eyes, revealing it's not him, meaning the surgery worked. John makes his way into the task force and removes Agatha. He then takes Agatha to a hacker friend who manages to extract her version of Crow's murder. He sees the same version of him killing Crow, realizing he doesn't have a minority report. Suddenly, Agatha starts seizing, and the image of Anne being drowned appears again. As John sees this, PreCrime officers are there searching for them. Since Agatha can see the future, John uses this to get away from the officers. As they escape, John finds Crow's address and enters his apartment. Although he isn't inside, John sees a bunch of photos of young boys, among which were pictures of his missing son. He realizes there is no minority report, and he plans on killing Crow, as he blames him for abducting his son. All of a sudden, Lee enters, and John attacks him trying to get a confession. Agatha begs him not to commit this crime. However, John is committed. As he is about to pull the trigger, his alarm goes off, which was the time the murder would take place. John puts down his gun, and Crow starts revealing that the photos were a setup and were given to him to live in the apartment to set up this confrontation. Crow further reveals that if he is killed by John, his family would receive a cash prize. Due to this, Crow grabs John's gun, points it at himself, and pulls the trigger. After John and Agatha leave, Whitwer and a team arrive at the scene. But Whitwer is left skeptical about the evidence. Later, he meets with Burgess and brings up the Anne case again. They re-watch each precogs vision and notice slight changes in each vision. Whitwer reveals that Agatha's file was missing in this case, meaning the crime against Anne took place at 2 different times. Whitwer ends up theorizing what could have happened, when suddenly, Burgess shoots him twice, knowing the precogs can't tell he did this because Agatha is missing. Later that day, John and Agatha go to Laura to hide, but when Laura sees them, she calls Burgess to ask for help. John tells Laura everything that has happened and reveals he must have been set up because he knows something about Anne's case. When they go inside, they see Agatha having all kinds of visions about the future Sean couldn't have. Then she reveals that Anne was her mother, and she died trying to reconnect with her after the precogs were taken by the company. When John asks Agatha who killed Anne, she screams, and we can see officers coming to the house. John tries to escape, but is quickly arrested and put to sleep. Hours later, Agatha is returned to the pool with the other precogs, as John is loaded into a prisoner pod. In the meantime, Laura visits Burgess, who tells her that Leo is the one behind Sean's death. Laura then asks him about Anne, but he tells her that he doesn't know anything about Anne, who drowned. As he leaves, Laura realizes Burgess is behind this, as she didn't mention her being drowned. She managed to take John's gun and threaten Gideon to release him. Burgess is giving a speech at an event, and after he is done, he receives a call from John, who reveals that Burgess killed Anne. Laura asks John's assistant to retrieve Agatha's memory of the crime, and all of a sudden, the vision starts playing on all screens in the event. The vision reveals that Burgess killed Anne. As Burgess tries to leave, he sees John and goes after him. At the same time, a new crime is detected, one where Burgess kills John. The two end up alone on the rooftop, and as Burgess points the gun at John, John tells him that there's already been a vision about this. Burgess ends up shooting himself before the officers find him. After this, pre-crime is done, and all the prisoners are released. Lara and John end up together and are expecting a baby. Agatha and the boys are set in a deserted cabin where no one can trigger their abilities, and they can live in peace.